Hey guys, this is Sharon with Couture. I got two projects tonight, and one of them is for campers, people who like to do camping. So this is the Happy Camper one. So I'm just going to be getting myself ready here for just a minute. Let's see, I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes for people to pop up. Nope. All right. Hey guys. Okay, so what I've got here is, so we're going to do this Happy Camper, but also if we have time, I thought that I'm working on a pillow for my mom for Mother's Day, and I have been already working on it, and so I thought that I would, there's a couple of, like, I'm going to be adding some flowers to it. Hi, Janet. I was going to be adding some flowers to it, and so I thought that I would do that with you guys here. So I'm just getting ready here. If you don't mind hanging on. Alrighty, and just a couple of more things here. So we have some exciting news today. We have launched in Canada. I'm really excited about that because well, it's just going to give us a whole extra country to sell to and you know, to market to, so we can totally recruit there in Canada. We can sell to people in Canada. So if anybody has any you know, like if you have any contacts, if you know of anybody there in Canada, you can totally sell to them. So let me put my iPad aside here. So here's the pillow that I was working on. This one's for my mom, so don't say anything to her if you know who she is. Okay, so the one side is this, and it says worry less, love more, and this was appropriate for my mom because she's a big warrior, so she is nothing but a worrywart. So I thought this is the perfect design for her, the perfect saying. So then on the back of it I put family, where life begins and love never ends, and together is our favorite place to be. So I thought that I would add these pretty roses to it because she really likes roses, and it needed something off there in the side because it's a little blank there. I hope that these roses don't overpower it, but I'm probably going to go with it anyways. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is, look what I got in the mail today. Does anybody know what this is? This is, any guesses? This is Club Couture. So if you become a member of Club Couture, what it is for $19.99 you get one transfer and 3 chalks mailed to you every single month. So it's really a cool thing. And as a designer, you also get that transfer every single month. Now, as designers, we don't get those chalks because we already have our own chalks. But as customers, you get the chalks and the design. So this is what the May design is. Hello Summer. Isn't that super cute? So these are sunglasses. So you do this one first and then you go over it with another color. So it's a double layer. So I thought this was really fun. I wanted to show this to you. So the Club Couture is a really, really fun thing to do and to be in. Okay, so now working on our project for today. So I've been gone. Hi, Susan. I've been out of town. I actually just came back today, a couple hours ago. I went to West Virginia, so every couple of months I get together with a couple of my leaders, and we just plan things for the team, and we get we just learn new things, and we get all sorts of things planned for the team, and we just have a really great team atmosphere. And so that's what I was doing over the past couple of days, is working with those two ladies who I've become really good friends with. So it was a good time, and we got a lot done. So this is so this is a surface that I picked out, and this is one that was an unfinished surface, so I stained it. And I'm a little concerned because I completely forgot to sand it first. So I think I might go ahead and do that now. And hopefully it doesn't take off the sanding, but it might give it a real good antique-y look. So let me grab my sander. So I have this fun little sanding block that I'm gonna use. So that's, are you guys able to see here? Let me put you down a little bit. Feeling much better, and it hasn't destroyed the stain at all. Okay, let me just kind of wipe it down with a towel. So the reason I want this to be sanded is because I don't want those fibers. I actually should wax this, actually. I'm gonna get some wax. Hang on, guys, don't go anywhere. Okay, so this is wax. It's called paste finishing wax. And I'm just going to grab a paper towel. And I'm just going to spread it on here a bit. The reason I'm using this is to make the surface a little softer so that it doesn't, so that those little fibers don't get inside of the transfer that we're going to be using. So this is actually working quite nice. It looks good. Okay, I think that's all I need. All right. So maybe what I'm going to do is put this aside for now while I'm going to let this dry a bit. And then we're gonna work on the pillow. So this was gonna be second, but we'll do this first. Okay, so the colors that I've chosen are eucalyptus, this is ink, and peony, and Couture Coral. So, I wonder if I could, we'll see how this is gonna work. All right, so now on the inside, for those of you who don't know, on the inside of this, you will see that I have a mat. This is a sticky mat. And so that is on the inside of this pillow. And that is to prevent it from sliding around, and, you know, like you need something sticky in there too, so that, you know, you don't, you know, it's just gotta be firm. All right, so, so our transfer. So I'm going to, actually, you know what, I might, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to lay this on here. I think kind of catty cornered a little bit, and I have the leaf inside. So this is a sentence and this is a sentence here, and so I have a leaf right in between it, and then it's kind of catty cornered. So I think this is going to be a good look. And actually, I'm going to want some white on here too. White. Okay. And for those of you who missed it, I did a whole wedding design with these flowers, and that looked really pretty. So this one is called "And Suddenly You Became My Everything," or you know, something similar to that. That's the name of it. But I did that on a chalkboard surface, and this is ink now. So it really, you can use the transfers over and over, and you can use them for ink or chalk or anything that you want. So that's what I really like about the chalk, or I mean the that's what I was that's what I love about Chalk Couture, is that you know, everything is very versatile. You can use it for so many different things. You can use the transfers over and over. So it's really cool. You're gonna have to excuse my fried brain today, because I think that I'm still on, like when we meet, usually we meet for 3 days, and this time we only met for 2. And seriously, my brain is completely fried. I have no idea what I was just about to say. We usually meet for a couple of days, but when we do meet, we usually meet for 3 days. This time we met for 2 days, and when we do meet, it's like non-stop work. Like, we are working for our teams. We are, you know, coming up with new plans. We learn new computer programs and applications, and, you know, we do brainstorming and all kinds of things. And so, you know, it fries your brain a little bit. And so that's just kind of where I'm at right now. All right, so the thing about ink that I love is that whereas the chalkboards, you have to hurry up and get the transfer up off of your surface, but you don't have that worry with the ink. You can take your time with it. Hi, Stephanie. So that's a really great thing about the ink. So I'm getting started here. And I love it that I don't have to rush through it. So this is going to be for my mom for Mother's Day. And I'm actually not even sure if I'm going to see her on Mother's Day this year. Normally I do, but, and probably I will. But my sister is retiring as a teacher. And so we're having a party for her the last weekend in May. And I'm actually doing a large portion of the planning for that. And so since I'm going to be with my family in just another couple of weeks, hi Charity. Charity, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm just not quite sure what we're going to be doing on Mother's Day, so probably my parents live up, oh, this has never been used. My parents live up in Dayton. So if any of you are from the Cincinnati area, you know what I'm talking about. Dayton is, what happened to the tool that I'm looking for? Dayton is just 30 miles away from where I live. So I'm just taking I'm opening up this new ink. So they're not too far away, but it is far enough away that it can sometimes be a pain to get there. Okay. Moving right along. I'm just going, instead of using 2 tones for the green, I'm just going to make it all one color. I just thought that would be easier this time. But we've got 2 different kinds of leaves. And so normally I would make it 2-toned. But I'm just not going to do that because there's already so many colors on here that I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want it to be too heavy with the colors. Actually, I need, I'm using a multi-tool for these smaller little areas. Cherry, what are you up to these days? All right, so I think that's all I need it for there. That was just a little bitty piece of green there. Actually, I think I can use it over here close to the rose. Are you guys able to see? Oh, I don't know that you're even able to see what I'm doing here. So, the deal with the inking projects is you have to wait for things to dry, and I let it dry overnight. And once it's been dried, then you're going to want to heat press it. So I use a Cricut Easy Press, and that's, or you could use an ironing board. That works too. But for me, I just keep the Easy Press right on my desk where I'm working here, so it's just real easy to just turn on. And what that does is it sets the ink into the fabric that you're working with so that, you know, you're not going to have anything chip off or whatever after you wash it or anything like that. So that is what I'm doing. But you have to wait for it to dry first. So that's why, you know, sometimes it can take a few days to do a whole inking project. You know, you do one side of the pillow, then you do the other side of the pillow, and then that's just kind of how it goes. All right, so we're done with this, but actually I'm going to need to put this on the other side too, but but I think I'm gonna wash it off first. Hi, Miranda. Charity, you're at Lavelle. You're working with Lavelle and working at Kohl's part-time. Okay, which Kohl's are you at? Are you at the one by on Tylersville? Okay, so now I'm going to make these flowers. And this Couture Teal is really pretty. So the two things that my mom, well, not the only two things, but my mom really, really likes flowers, but specifically I think she really likes roses. And then she also loves family. You know, family is everything to her. And so that's why I thought these two phrases would be really good for her. Okay, now I'm going to use this Peony, which is a lighter pink color. And we're almost ready for the big reveal. Got to kind of get in there with your left hand a little bit. Now, there might be some areas that, even though it looks like I colored it in, there might be some areas that didn't quite get covered, and so I'm gonna have to go in and do it a second time if that's the case. But hopefully that didn't happen this time. All right, here we go. Let me make sure you guys can see. Okay, there it is. Well, I kind of wish this was down a little bit more. But you know what I can do? I can put, when I do it on the other side, I can make that down a little bit further. And it'll, I think that that'll make it look a little bit, not evened out, but I think it'll give it some more symmetry or something. So that's that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dry it with the dryer a little bit. Okay, so let me put this aside and let this dry for a little bit. Now we're gonna work with our happy camper. Okay, let me make sure I have this right side up. Okay, here we go. So we need our scissors now. Okay, I have to tell you that I have been wanting to do this one for a very long time. This came out in, I think this came out in the spring. Well, yeah, this came out in, it's spring now. This came out in March. And I've been wanting to do it ever since, because I know that there's a lot of people out there who just love to camp. And so this is going to be perfect for them. So if you're a camper, I know you're going to have this. Oh goodness, I'm not making it even. Okay, so I'm going to use the larger camper here. We've got two of them on this one transfer. We have two different sizes of campers, which is awesome. So you could make it on a smaller surface if you wanted to, or put it on the larger surface, which is what I'm doing. And then it also says Happy Camper, and this is how we roll. And then the other one says, home is where you park it. So I'm going to have to play around with it a little bit because I very definitely want to use home is where we park it. But I also really like this is how we roll. This, yeah, this is how we roll. Home is where we park it. And we are getting into camping season too, which makes it all the more appropriate. So I'm getting ready to do a vendor show this weekend. It's actually going to be a wine festival. And so I've been trying to pick out some projects that I was going to use, you know, that I want to kind of showcase and have, oh, is that Miranda? You're rebranding and you're going to be the Happy Campers. Well, my gosh, you're going to have this one then, for sure. I forget what I was saying now. My brain should not be this fried. Okay, so this is one of those two-toned. It's a double layer. So we're going to do this one first, and then we're going to do this one on top of it. But actually, I'm going to put it in the middle, and then I can put Happy Camper up top, and then this is how we roll at the bottom. Or actually, maybe I won't put, I'm not sure what to do now. Home is where we park it. I really like that phrase. So, let me think. Happy Camper, home is where we park it. I might be able to put in black right over it. This is how we roll. Home is where we park it. You like that better? All right, so I'm just going to leave this one aside for now. Probably I'm not going to use it. Okay, so let's get the camper in. So I'm planning to, I'm going to do the bottom part in white and then the top part in the teal. I was going to use these two colors, Couture Teal and white. But now I'm wondering if I maybe want to use different colors. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Let me just do a little research here. So I know that I've told you guys this in the past, but if you, like when you join Chalk Couture, we have this team page that is really vibrant, and everybody always posts all of their creations on there. And what's so amazing about that is that you can totally take their ideas and you can recreate it. So if you are having, you know, like a brain fart one day and you're having that creative block, you can totally copy and use some of the things that you've seen other people use. Or, you know, if you're like me, I feel like I love to craft, but I don't feel like I necessarily have that creative gene, or at least I don't have it right now. Like, I feel like I need to be in this for a couple of years longer before I, or at least a year longer, before I start getting really creative and start, you know, creating my own things with all the different transfers and, you know, using this transfer, using this part of the transfer and that part of the transfer, and creating your own thing. So the great thing about this company is that people share all of that stuff, and so you can just totally look to see what they're doing, and that helps you. So like right now I'm struggling with the color. I'm really just not sure what color to make it. So I'm just quickly looking through. So what I did is I saved all of those pictures that I liked, and I put it into Evernote. So Evernote is my best friend, and Evernote is like an online paper filing service, and so I put it into the different categories. So I was able to just go straight into my camping file, and I'm now looking at all of these different creations in here made by other people, and so I'm just seeing some great stuff. I think I'm gonna make this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make it teal. Okay, so we need our fuzzing cloth. So for those of you who don't know, fuzzing cloth is used to make it a little less sticky, so that when you go to put it on your surface, it's not gonna like totally completely stick to your surface. You're gonna be able to take it off. So that is why we fuzz. Vintage campers are typically teal or red from what you see in person. You know what, Miranda? I agree with that, because I just was looking at all of these creations, and those were the two colors that I saw. And I really love red too, actually. Now you got me thinking, do I want this red? I could make it red and black. Would that be kind of cool? Or red, white, and then red, white, and then put oh my gosh, I'm in such a quandary. I think I'm just going to make it teal. I'm going to stick with my original intuition. I can always make another one with red later. Okay, now let me make sure that this will all fit. I think I'm going to put it down just a little bit. Okay, then this will go on top, and then there's plenty of space for the happy camper. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm gonna make white the base. Well, is that really what I want to do? Let me think that through a minute. Maybe I want teal the base. I'm thinking it through. I'm gonna make teal the base. Okay, so here we go. My desk is a mess. I haven't been in my office in a few days. This feels kind of sticky. Something's on it. All right, so we're gonna use our, hi Cassandra. Okay, so we are using our stir stick to get this into a yogurt-like consistency. Okay, so here we go. Had a hair on it. Alrighty. Okay, as always with the chalk, you want to make sure that you are using the edge and not the side. And then you want to bring over all of the excess chalk that you're not using from that side. This paste feels a little thick tonight. A little thicker than I typically like it. Okay, so now I have the whole thing covered, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, if you can see, I'm just gonna grab it like that to get as much of the excess off. So I'm using the side, not the side, but like the edge of it, and I'm scraping it all down. All right, so that's as good as that's gonna get. And there we have it. It's very, very pretty. Okay, so now this has to dry. And on this one, I'm going to use my little, actually now I'm kind of thinking I wish I had used the teal for the other part. Oh well. Okay, so I'm using my heater now. This is my heat gun. I want to make sure that this gets good and dry because we're going to be putting that other layer on top of it. And this feels really good. Okay, next comes the second layer. Because see, I think this is going to have more white than teal, and I wanted to put the words in white. So now I'm thinking I should have flipped that. But not a lot I can do about it now. So if I'd been working with the chalkboard, I could have totally erased it and started over. But I'm not, so it is what it is. It'll be nice. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up the wheels. Or the wheel. And then it's going to put a layer directly over it. That looks pretty good. So now I need to get my little tool. This seems crooked though. I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to use this tool because I'm going to be working with a large space. This is a lot to cover. So we definitely need to stir this up. Oh gosh, this is really kind of hard. Let me get some water. So just so that you know, this is distilled water. I got it straight out of a water bottle. You don't want to get it from your sink. You want to get it from a water bottle. So I just keep this right here at my desk. It's just a little spritzer and it has water in it. And honestly, I've had this sitting on my desk since January, so I've not used a whole lot of it, but it comes in super handy when, you know, you have a chalk that gets a little hard. So I can find that you can soften up any of the chalks by putting water in it. So actually I was with my good friend, one of my best friends. If you missed when I was talking about earlier in the call where I was saying that I was in West Virginia with one of my leaders with Chalk Couture, and she actually was one of my leaders with Clever Container, and she used to be a chemist. And so I asked her, I said, hey, now can you tell me, does chalk, can chalk always be loosened up with water? And she said yes. She said chemically it will always be loosened up. So I'm really kind of, this chalk is irritating me tonight. So that was a good tip to have and to know that, yes, indeed, you can always fix it. So I'm really glad that I'm using this tool. Uh-oh, I got a little bit onto the wood. Yikes. Hopefully I can fix that up. Okay, it's pretty good. So I just need a wet one here. This is a Clorox wipe, and it's coming out real nice. So I fixed that up real good. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, this little squeegee. All right, this chalk is still pretty, needs to be a little looser. All right, so let me get this dried. Now we're ready for the happy camper sign. So here's another little tip that I like to tell everybody on every single one of my lives, because this irritates me more than anything else. So how you get the transfer off of the backing is you take the pad of your finger and you just kind of rub it like that, and that gets it down. See how that pulled that down? It just sticks right to your finger. What drives me insane is when people will take their fingernail and try to take it off. That does not work. All it does is it just ruins the backing. So if you guys have been watching me for a while on my lives, it's time to start taking some action. You guys should treat yourself. You know, Mother's Day is coming up. If you're a mom, treat yourself to a fun little design that you can make, or go ahead and join. Actually, I think I'm going to put this off to the side a little bit. I think that would look nice. Treat yourself to the monthly subscription that's Club Couture. I think it's just a really fun, I mean, it definitely is a really fun thing to do, but everybody deserves a treat every once in a while, I think. Or if you've been thinking about joining for a while, it's a really good time. And I don't know if I said, I think I might have mentioned this at the beginning. Hey guys. I hate that I can't see you at the same time that I'm working. So we just launched in Canada today. So it's a really good time to join because you'll have access to sell to anybody in Canada. So that's a really cool, fun thing. Okay, can you see how I am just dragging it to the right? So I'm pulling all that excess off and I'm taking it to the right. Because one, you really want it to push through that silk screen because that's what gets it onto your surface. So it's literally like a screen in there. That's what it looks like. So I'm using the edge and I'm just pushing it in and then I'm pulling the excess off. All right, and now, how about that? You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a second layer. I'm gonna go over that with teal. So I'm gonna have to wash that off. And now I'm gonna come down to the bottom, and this is where we're gonna put the home. Home is where you park it. Home is where we park it. So I think I'm gonna make these straight. So that was kind of sideways, if you can see it. That was sideways, and this I'm gonna make straight. And I think I'm gonna make the home in teal color. I like to fuzz it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, just to get it going. Let me make sure that's straight. That looks pretty good. And I think I'm going to do it first before I put the other one down. Okay, so we're going to make this teal. And again, I'm grabbing off the excess. And there you have it. So, what are you guys doing for Mother's Day? Hi, Heather. Thanks for joining. Comment below and tell me what you're doing for Mother's Day. Do you guys get to stay at home and be pampered all day? Or do you go elsewhere? Okay, home is where we park it. And I'm going to do that in the white. So if anybody knows anybody from Canada and you think they might have an interest in chalk couture, please let me know, because I don't know anybody in Canada. Actually, I did at one point in time in my life. So my husband and I, when we got married 24 years ago, we went to Jamaica for our honeymoon, and we met this couple there who was just having a vacation. It was their 10th anniversary, and they were having a vacation, and we got to know them and become friends with them. Well, they were from Canada, and so we kept in touch for quite a while, and we even went and visited them at one point. This was before we had kids. They already had kids, but we didn't have any kids, and so we had a really, really good time with them. They cooked for us, and you know, they had their own house because they were already 10 years into their marriage. We were only a couple years in, and so we didn't have a house yet. We still had our apartment, and so it was real fun. They treated us real nice, and they took us all over, saw the sights of Canada. We went to Niagara Falls, and I don't even know what else. We went to, they have some sort of a space needle there, I think. And we did that, and that's about all that I can remember that we did. I know we did more, but that's all I'm remembering. And so anyways, we lost touch with them. We used to exchange Christmas cards every year, and somehow along the way we lost touch with them. We really liked them a lot. I don't know how that happened. Things just happened. And so now I have no idea how to get in touch with them, and that really stinks. So now I'm looking at all these extra pieces, and I'm thinking, okay, so one, I need to choose some curtains. And I get to choose which ones I want. And then there's also a little flower pot that I could maybe stick in a window. And then also there's a little wheel here. So I'm thinking maybe this wheel attaches to this somehow. So let me go ahead and cut this up. You guys can watch me. Something else that I could do if I really wanted to is I could, in black, I could add this to the bottom of it. That might be kind of cool. Okay, so the other thing that I was going to do before we do these curtains, let me put this aside for a minute. I want to fix, okay, so this is my mess up towel. I can do all kinds of, I think I'm done with the white. Although I'm not sure what color I'm going to make those curtains. So here's how you fix up, how you make your chalk real nice. You take your little stir stick and you scrape off the edges, and then you mix it up really good. So, and then if you want to really be anal about it, you can take a wet, like a Clorox wipe, and you can wipe the edges there. So I'm not going to do that just because I'm feeling lazy tonight, but that is absolutely something you can and should do. Okay, so now what I need is I need my sponge. I'm not sure what happened to my, I'm looking for my board eraser and I don't see it. So I'm just going to start a new one here. Okay, so now in my, this is my bucket of water, my, gosh, what is this thing called? My water bath. So I'm just going to take out the Happy Camper one. And I'm just going to wash it off a little bit here in the tub. Just to get as much of the chalk off as I can inside the bath water. And now I'm just going to put it right here on my towel and give it a better cleaning. It's easier to do it on a surface rather than in water. So, and you want to get both sides because sometimes that chalk sticks to both sides, especially if it's been sitting in water with other transfers. So, now I'm going to put it inside of this towel. To dry. So I want to make sure that this is really dry, because if it's wet at all, it's going to get the other part of that chalk wet and that's going to make it smear and smudge. So we don't want that to happen. So let me put this over here. This feels pretty dry, but I'm going to do it again because I want to be doubly sure. Oh, and actually, to be doubly sure, I'm going to use my hair dryer. Now, here's where you got to be careful. So I use the heat gun for the surface, but you do not want to use a heat gun on your transfer because that's going to melt it and scrunch it up. So that's a no-no. So I keep both a hair dryer and a heat gun at my desk because I like to use the hair dryer for ink projects, and then I also use it for this. I'm going to be drying my transfer, so this is a good thing to use. Okay. That is about as dry as that can get. And so now what I'm going to do here, let me put this down a little bit. I'm doing a second layer right directly on top of the first, oh, this is, okay, so I'm putting it right on top, but just a teeny tiny bit off to the right, because we're going to have a double layer. So this is going to look super duper cool. All right, so now I need the teal, and actually I kind of wish I had this backwards because teal is now going to be the dominant color, and I wanted white to be, but oh well. Once again, I kind of messed that up. Just a little bit more. And notice how quickly I'm doing this. Like, you don't see me obsessing over it. You don't see me sitting here taking an hour to do it. Like, I just do it really quick. And that's what you want to do. So you know, I do chalk nights with people where we all create the same thing, or, you know, we all make a project at the same time. And some of these women just really get OCD and worry so much about every teeny tiny little thing that doesn't go right. And it just, they end up messing up their whole project. You know, in the obsessing, they end up messing it up 10 times worse than it ever should be. And the reason for that is because they're obsessing over it. So you see the way I do it, like I just quick, get it done, boom, done. And I don't go over it and redo it and redo it and redo it. And granted, I'm more experienced than everybody else, but still, you know, you got to really be careful, because you with this, the way it works is you have to put the chalk on, pull it up immediately, because if you don't do that, you're going to end up having, you know, the chalk then lifts up onto that transfer, and then it sticks to the transfer and takes it away from your surface. So that's a bad thing. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm in love with the Happy Camper with the 2 different tones. Isn't that so cute? So, I do think I'm going to be a little bit risky here. And I'm going to put This Is How We Roll at the bottom of it in black. So, I hope that I don't ruin it by doing that. If so, you guys can see a major screw up. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it'll be okay. Let's grab another wipe here. Okay, I need to grab my black. I'll be right back. Okay. So, okay, I hope I'm gonna like this. Okay, this black is nearing the end. I need to stir it up a bit. We are almost at the end of this black. And I don't need a lot, I just need a little. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love it. I think that was the exact right decision. So let me show it to you. What do you think? Give me some heart. Okay, that's my son calling. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I have to go because that's my son and he's asking me about dinner. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some curtains, and then that's it. We're done. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and make sure that you look at the top of this video to see the links that you can join for all the different things, either to join or to you know, purchase the Club Couture, or you know, to make purchases. So I can tell you exactly how much this whole project is going to cost. So hi Billy. So just make sure that you look at that, and thank you so much for joining me and watching this. I really appreciate it, and if you guys would be so kind as to share this video too, that would be phenomenal, and I would really appreciate it. So love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye bye.